Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Christy Vann with Fantastic Finances, and on this channel I teach velocity banking. So today I wanted to go over very quickly weekly payroll deposits. So I get a lot of questions about, but what about if I get paid weekly? All of my scenarios are set up on monthly, and I realize that only because it cuts down on the room of the board. So that's the only reason that I do this. This strategy can be done very well with weekly income, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever you're paid. I too was paid weekly, so I know it works with weekly income. I actually enjoyed it more being on a weekly based income because I could watch the numbers go down faster. I also enjoyed working with my cards, working with the numbers, and getting to redo my numbers every week for some reason excited me. So I don't know if you guys are to that point to where you just are excited now to work with your debt and watch those numbers go down, kind of mess around with strategy a little bit, see if you can make it even better, see if you can cut your spending back to where you're putting more on those balances, getting rid of that debt, and less on the frivolous spending. That's how we make an impact, a real impact. So I enjoyed doing that weekly, and I hope that you all are into this. I hope you're enjoying what you're doing because this is fun to get rid of debt. You will get to the point to where when you get your strategy set up and your money's going in, it's coming out like it's supposed to, you're watching the balances go down, that you're going to find yourself bored because you're like, well, I used to always think about debt, or I used to be so stressed out about debt, or I used to worry about where's the money coming from. Now I don't have to worry about that. Now the money's here, my debt's going down, I don't have anything to think about. I hope that you get to that point because then you can take your focus off of your debt, even your income, and be looking at other adventurous things in your life, such as your children growing up, right? Couponing, seeing if you can find more money that you weren't aware of. But today I wanted to go over real quickly how a weekly income would work if you are set up on weekly paychecks. This income is $44.60, but they're paid $740 per week, and then they get a $1,500 payment per month. In most of my videos, I would add that together and just do one monthly income. So today I wanted to break it down a little bit because I get a lot of questions from you guys on how do I do this weekly? It just doesn't make sense. And can I make deposits into my credit cards and credit lines weekly? Yes, I never had a problem with that. I never had a problem with doing it daily. If I wanted to make an income transfer into my credit card, into my line of credit, I never had a problem with that. So if you are, that may be something I have not dealt with, but I don't think that you're going to have problems with making deposits into the credit cards. The only thing I could foresee happening is that you need to get your expenses lined up so that your income is going in first. If you don't have any credit balance available on your credit card, then you may need to go in and make the income transfer first, then allow your expenses to come out. But that's the only, I wouldn't even call that an issue, but you might have to take a little bit of time going through your expenses just to line those due dates up right. And you can contact your credit card companies, usually online, just change your due date. That's literally all you have to do. So let's look over this scenario, how this person has a cash flow of $804 per month. They have a mortgage, car, personal loan, credit cards 1 and 2. Their monthly expenses out of the credit card would be $1,313, but the money that needs to stay in the bank is $2,343, and that is for each one of these payments, because you cannot make a loan payment or another credit card payment with a credit card. We're all learning that very quickly. I get that every day. You cannot make a payment to another loan company with a credit card, okay? So with this person being paid the $1,500 per month, they apply that $1,500 directly to their $1,500 mortgage payment that they already have set up. So we're going to be dealing with that $740 a week that comes in. Credit card number 1 here has a balance of $8,008 and a payment of $240. So I have discussed with you all in previous videos and on lives that I always go for the highest credit card payment. The reason I go for the high payment is that's the most cash flow I can get. So if I can afford to work with this $8,008 credit card first, I'm going to. If I had a line of credit instead of a credit card, then I would attack the car loan first. That's just the way I work. I look for the most cash flow I can gain by taking on a debt. And in this scenario, it's going to be a credit card because he does not have a line of credit yet. So you're going to see some numbers here that I've come up with, right? And it's going to be the income that goes into the credit card every week, the expenses that should come out of the credit card every week, and the interest for that week. Now, the interest is charged monthly on the average daily balance. The only reason I am putting this in here is just to show where the balance is going to be at the end of the week, okay? The interest on the $8,008 credit card would be $200.20 per month, as long as it stays at that $8,000 balance at a 30% rate. Now, how long is it going to stay at the $8,008 balance? Not long, because we're going to knock it down with this $589.25 payment that we're making in every week. Where did I get the $589.25 payment? So like I mentioned earlier, $1,313 is credit card expenses that can come off of this credit card every month. So when you add that plus the $804 a month cash flow that this person has, plus the $240 credit card payment that is now going to turn into cash flow because we are doing income transfers directly into this credit card, that total comes to $2,357. So that would be the total amount that needs to go into this credit card every month. But when we break that down by week, we get that $589.25 a week in income needs to go directly into this credit card since he's paid weekly. Now, does the $328.25 in expenses have to come out every week? Absolutely not. He can have all of these expenses set up to where they come out on the same day of the week, maybe the 25th, maybe the 30th, whatever he wants to have it set up as long as his income or the credit balance is available to cover these expenses when they come in. So when the $589.25 goes into the card, the expenses of the $328.25 come out, and just doing an average of what the interest would be per week if we figured it on the $8,000 balance. So if I took that average of the interest and just added it in here just to show kind of where the balance of this card would be after a week of the income in, the expenses out, and the interest out, you're looking at $7,797.05, which means that if we figured that based on the 30% interest rate, he would owe $194.92 in interest charges. So that interest should be going down every week because you're putting the income in, you're pulling the expenses out, and you're leaving all of this cash flow in here. So $261 a week is literally cash flow that stays into the card that is working this balance down that will pay off this card very quickly. So I just wanted to do a very quick run through of what it would be like if you are paid weekly and how you would put that money into the credit card. You are going to have to figure out what your expenses are you can use on that credit card, what amount of income you can put into that credit card when you add the credit card payment, your current cash flow, and the credit card expenses. That'll give you your total. Then you will know exactly what you need to be putting on that credit card every week to keep the balances coming down. That's the purpose. The cash flow stays into the line of credit, keeping the balance coming down. And in the event that we have an emergency where we need money, then we can go back to that line of credit, pick up our cash flow, and use it for what we need. Remember, velocity banking and frivolous spending do not go together. So we've got to adult up, keeping your expenditures down to where they need to be. And if you can reduce them, you are only going to come out of debt much, much quicker, okay? So if you have any questions or comments regarding this, please leave them below. I get such great compliments from you guys. I appreciate them all. I hear them all. I read them all. I just don't have time to respond to them all. So I hope that if you are paid weekly, that this kind of clears that up for you just a little bit, so you can kind of see what that breakdown would look like. Like I said, I did weekly income deposits. I loved it because I got to look at my debt every week to see what was going on. I enjoyed velocity banking, and I hope you enjoy it. If you need to contact me, I do have links below. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.